The sky is full of red clouds, the sun slowly rises from the sea level, and the morning glow gradually illuminates the city of Qingshan at 6 in the morning. In a courtyard in the villa district of Qingshan City, a young man with broken black hair was naked, mobilizing his muscles and punching forward continuously. With every punch he punches, his right fist will turn into a fist of steel with black glow. When retracts, it naturally returns to a normal state with bare hands. 999. 1000. Hey! Mechanical department, kind of interesting. After completing the morning training day after day, Lin Yuan picked up the towel on the side and wiped his sweaty cheeks, muttering to himself. Then stretched out his muscles and bones and walked towards the villa. After taking a brief shower, after making breakfast, Lin Yuan pushed open the door of one of the bedrooms, and put a big foot on the yellow-haired young man on the bed. Wu Di, it's time. Wu Di was kicked and turned over, whispering unconsciously. What? Okay. Hurry up, I'll give you 5 seconds. Or I will show you the art photos of the on the internet. As a best friend for more than 10 years, Lin Yuan has taken Wu Di to death. As soon as these words came out, Wu Di jumped up from the bed with his head in his hands, and heard the urge to choke Lin Yuan to death in his tragic howl. What, Lin Yuan? Brother Yuan! Please spare me! Lin Yuan completely ignored Wu Di's miserable howl, leaving behind an indifferent figure. Hurry up! The 9 o'clock martial arts class. Go early. What? On the dining table in the villa, Lin Yuan was eating breakfast while flipping through the book on Budo spirits in his hand. Strictly speaking, Lin Yuan is not entirely from this world. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as gradual freezing disease, is one of the 5 terminal diseases. After the 21-year-old in his previous life, he died of gradual freezing disease, and when he woke up, he had come to this first-class civilized world called Kanglan Star. This is a world where the spirit of spirit martial arts prevails. For Lin Yuan, who has died once, naturally cherish this opportunity of rebirth extremely. In fact, as early as the original Earth world, scientists have defined a first-class civilization. Is defined as the ability to control the natural energy on the planet. Popularity is spiritual power. The general outline of martial arts formulated by Tian Shui Kingdom, the first sentence is there is breath between heaven and earth, this breath is spiritual energy, filling between heaven and earth. After finishing washing, Wu Di sat down in a daze, picking up Lin Yuan's already prepared breakfast and chewing mechanically. Ate and slowly fell on the table, like a corpse. Lin Yuan turned a page of books without raising his head. Zhang Yining will come to the martial arts class today. What? Where did you hear about it? When Wu Di heard the name Zhang Yining, a carp instantly became vigorous, his eyes gleaming. Lin Yuan continued to flip through the book, saying, when you were still wailing, she had already arrived at the martial arts gym. Fuck, don't you say it earlier, hurry up. Zhang Yining, the school flower of Qingshan No. 1 Middle School. The Zhang family from Qingshan City, a family of martial arts, has a strong background and excellent martial arts talents. The beauty of the sky, there are countless natural pursuits. Lin Yuan. Brother Yuan. If you have a fart, just let it go. Wu Di smiled and moved to Lin Yuan's side. The appearance of a brother patted Lin Yuan on the back continuously. Give me a chance today. Which one of our 2 brothers and whom? Right. Today is a basic martial arts class all day. Although Lin Yuan's spirit seed talent is extremely bad, the only fire-type spirit seed that awakens is the waste fire seed. But on the basic martial arts without spiritual power, Lin Yuan is the second in the first middle school, no one dares to be the first. Zhang Yining took a basic martial arts class 3 months ago, and exchanged ideas with Lin Yuan. That time, Zhang Yining and Lin Yuan communicated almost all day, causing the envied heresy of Wu Di to shed all over the place. Lin Yuan closed the book, smiled slightly, and took Wu Di's hand away from him. How about I let her compare with you and beat you up? Wu De held his chin and thought about it carefully. Does not seem to be bad? Then looked at Lin Yuan and nodded excitedly, also. Lin Yuan frowned, looked at Wu De with perverted eyes, and cursed, damn, do you dare to be unprofitable anymore? Hurry up and change clothes and go out. Looking at Lin's back, Wu De shouted, Brother Yuan! Brother Yuan! Say yes! In Wu De's eyes, Lin Yuan is someone you never know what he is thinking. He grew up with Lin Yuan since he was a child. When he awakened, Lin Yuan awakened a weak fire-type spirit seed, with a weak talent. I just practiced basic martial arts for more than 3 years without fail. Is dubbed wonderful flower in the entire Qingshan City No. 1 middle school. What made Wu De more puzzled was that the family environment in which Lin Yuan grew up not only did not affect Lin Yuan at all, it became Lin Yuan's motivation. Wu De asked himself, if he wanted to change, he would have collapsed a long time ago. Lin Yuan's mother died in a car accident when Lin Yuan was young. Then his father remarried. Lin Yuan always lived with his father and stepmother. In this reorganized family, Lin Yuan's position is very awkward. Lin Yuan's stepmother has a strong personality, so she didn't really wait to see Lin Yuan. Just when Lin Yuan was growing up, his half-brother was born, so Lin Yuan was naturally completely ignored. In the eyes of outsiders, Lin Yuan is indeed a bit pitiful, but in fact there is no wave in Lin Yuan's heart. After entering middle school, Lin Yuan moved out of the house. First lived in the dormitory, and later moved out of school with Wu De. Of course, Lin Yuan's family conditions cannot live in such an expensive villa area. Wu De's father Wu Deifu is a standard upstart with a big belly and generous shots. When I was young, I was far-sighted. I seized the opportunity and started investing in real estate. Wu De is the kind of standard rich second generation. But the general Wu De family, in this world where the martial style is prosperous and respected by martial arts, is not particularly important. It happens that Wu De has top martial arts talents, and Wu Deifu eagerly hopes to change his style from Wu De's generation. It's a pity that Wu De, this kid is very slippery, just like his old man. Cultivation is basically 3 days of fishing and 2 days of surfing the net, which is quite boring for Wu Deifu. In the end, Wu Deifu discovered that only Lin Yuan could heal him, so that he could spend a little bit on his cultivation. So he kicked Wu De from the house and let Wu De and Lin Yuan live outside together. Lin Yuan has been mature and stable since childhood, calm and wise, and his double quotient far surpasses his peers. The relationship with Wu De was good, and Wu Deifu simply regarded Lin Yuan as a godson. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Before and Wu De moved into this villa, Lin Yuan hesitated. After all, he was a little bit suspicious of eating soft food. However, under the strong persuasion of Wu De and Wu Deifu, Lin Yuan still chose to accept this kindness. The main reason is that the school dormitory does not have enough space for Lin Yuan to practice. And as Uncle Wu said, if he really gets ahead in the future, it won't be too late to repay him. It is not so easy to become a real warrior. In the growth period of the body, if there is no intake of a large amount of grains and meat to supplement the body's energy, it will affect the future of martial arts. Becoming a martial artist will inevitably be invested. Even if you don't use spiritual liquid or pill to accelerate spiritual power training, the children of martial arts families or wealthy families are much higher than ordinary families. For Wu Deifu, it is of course impossible to provide Lin Yuan with expensive training resources. But if I give Lin Yuan a place to live, it's not a big problem to add a table and chopsticks. Wu De lived alone and lived with Lin Yuan. The most important thing is that since Wu Deifu drove Wu De out of the house, Wu Deifu feels that his home is extremely clean. Every middle school will set up a lot of martial arts in the school, as long as there are martial arts ambitions can apply for martial arts. The ratio of civil and military in middle schools is generally around 5:5. When Lin Yuan and Wu De came to the school martial arts hall, there were already many boys and girls in the martial arts hall that had already started training on the rubber mannequins. Punches and kicks on the mannequin, and the sound of pop is endless. When just walked in, several polite students greeted Lin Yuan enthusiastically when they saw Lin Yuan, Senior Lin. Hello, Mr. Linear. Okay. The name Lin Yuan is known to everyone in Aoyama 1. It's a really wonderful work, even the headmaster can't make it out. Liberal arts scores are surprisingly good, continuously breaking and greatly improving the school history records of Qingshan No. 1 high school, and high school exams, a genius among geniuses. Is now the 4th year of high school, the last year of high school. The joint entrance exam last month was almost full score again. Is such a genius who has been rare in 1,000 years. The school's eyes rolled over and he almost fainted. Lin Yuan's liberal arts scores are as good as his martial arts scores are. The spirit seed of the fire system, after several years of cultivation, the total amount of spiritual power is only 41, which is a second-level warrior in the middle reaches. Even many of the first and second grades of high school students are better than Lin Yuan. The remote forest is far harder than anyone else, and he has practiced the basic martial arts to the extreme. If you continue to develop in this way, you will at most be a teacher of basic martial arts in the future, which is far from the bright future of liberal arts. Numerous eyes in the martial arts hall are firmly locked on the beautiful figure in the center of the martial arts hall. Zhang Yining kept raising his leg and attacking the dummy in front of him. The ponytail is high, pure, and natural, without a trace of makeup. Being able to become the goddess of the sky, the goddess in the hearts of thousands of young men, is inseparable from Zhang Yining's powerful strength. It is said that half a year ago, the 12 veins had been fully opened, and he was promoted to a third-level martial artist. As Lin Yuan warmed up, the number of martial artists gradually increased. Including some students who don't usually come to the basic martial arts class, come to join in the fun and look at the goddess from a distance. The vast majority of teenagers are self-aware. People from two worlds, even if Zhang Yining stood in front of them, they were shivering, not to mention the word pursuit. Hey! For more than 3 years, I can finally start practicing. Feeling the strength of his bones during the 3 years of training, Lin Yuan thought relievedly. Fortunately, there is still half a year before the college entrance examination. If all goes well, half a year should be enough. The first 4 stages of martial arts are actually the 4 processes of awakening, opening the veins, tempering the body, and refining the soul. In the Tian Shui kingdom, he would directly use the first-level martial artist and the second-level martial artist to be called. Now Lin Yuan and Wu Di are in the opening phase, which is also the second-level warrior. Almost all the boys and girls in this world will awaken the spirit seed when they are 12 to 14 years old. This spirit seed represents the type attribute of your martial artist's cultivation. For example, the spirit seed is blue, it is a water warrior. Is brown, and it is a soil warrior. Is red, it is the fire fighter. Spirit seed has various attributes. For example, the same fire element has different colors, which also represents the different quality of spirit seed. For example, between the ordinary purple fire and phoenix purple fire, the combat effectiveness can be described as a huge difference. This is what is often called talent. The reason why Lin Yuan is said to be extremely talented is because the faint light of the fire spirit in Lin Yuan's body appears a little pale. Looks a little like Zhu Yinhuo from the Color of Awakening. It is a pity that the spiritual power released is very different, confirming that it is not Zhu Yinhuo, most of it is an unrecorded waste fire. There are only 30,000 kinds of fire-type spirit species recorded in the martial arts general outline, and naturally there are many unknown fire species that have not been recorded. Is basically judged by the fullness and quality of the spirit seed. Normally, the spirit seed will gradually take root in the body as the martial artists practice. However, Lin Yuan's white fire remained silent no matter how he cultivated, causing Lin Yuan's spiritual power to grow extremely slowly. Until now, no matter how persistent Lin Yuan is, he must have been forced to give up this white fire cultivation. Fortunately there is it. Lin Yuan sighed slightly, his spiritual power was running. At this time, there are two spirit seeds gleaming in his body. A red, white inside, sick. There is also a full silver gray. Twin spirit species are actually not uncommon in this world. Even Wudi is a twin spirit species of the fire and electricity types. There are 3 spirit species and 4 spirit species of warriors. But it does not mean that the more spirit seeds, the better the talent, because the quality of spirit seeds is different. All 4 of your spirit seeds are spirit seeds, and they are definitely no better than others. Like the warriors of the twin spirit species, many will choose one of them to practice. For example, the fire spirit seed in Wudi's body is far less powerful than his electric type spirit seed, so Wudi concentrated on cultivating the electric type spirit seed and gave up the fire spirit seed. 90 out of 10 warriors would choose this way. This silver-gray spirit seed of Lin Yuan is an extremely rare mechanical spirit seed. This spirit seed is very rare in Tian Shui country. Of course, there is no horizontal comparison between spirit species of different lines, it's just rare. So Lin Yuan couldn't even find a teacher in Qingshan City. After reading a lot of materials, I found a suitable cultivation method. This is the reason for Lin Yuan's slow spiritual improvement in more than 3 years. The warriors of the mechanical system are different from other systems, and to a certain extent they are similar to those of the steel system. If the physical strength is not up to the standard, the mechanical force of the spirit force on the bones, flesh and blood and meridians cannot bear the pressure. That's why Lin Yuan worked hard every day to practice basic martial arts and improve his physical strength. Until a few days ago, Lin Yuan's physical strength finally reached the entry requirement of a mechanical system martial artist. With the money saved over the years, he bought 2 mechanical system basic spiritual skills and practiced for a few days, and the effect was unexpectedly good. I have been busy in the past 6 months. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Lin Yuan didn't tell the second person about the news of the second spirit species in his body, even Wu didn't even know. First of all, we must be clear, this is no secret to Lin Yuan. Is not the kind that shows up and attracts the world to chase and kill. On the contrary, in this real world, especially after attending the martial arts academy, the stronger your talents and strength, the more attention and resources you will get. The reason why Lin Yuan didn't announce it is very simple. The resources of the high school period were not provided by the middle school at all, so I can only see myself. Middle school is not as rich as the martial arts academy. There are too many talented geniuses in common families. Which middle school is supported by public funds? Since there is no difference in resources, what's the point of announcing a spirit seed that you are not sure if you can cultivate smoothly? Wu De has never taken the initiative to talk to Lin Yuan about spirit seeds. Wu De knew very well that Lin Yuan's spirit seed talent was not good, and watched Lin Yuan work so hard. How could it be possible to uncover Lin Yuan's scars as a brother? Time came to 9 o'clock, and Mr. Yang, who was in charge of the basic martial arts class of Qingshan No. 1 Middle School, arrived at the martial arts gym on time. Seeing Mr. Yang arrive, everyone's warm-up gradually stopped. Leona Yang is a real 4th-level martial artist, over 100 years old, still full of face and energy. Come on, you. 4. 1 set of basic boxing. Basic martial arts is the basis of combat. If you learn martial arts, you will have a martial arts class in the first year of high school, and even some martial arts families will let their children practice stance, boxing, and leg skills from an early age. Combining these basic martial arts, supplemented with spiritual power and spiritual skills, is the foundation of a martial artist. After Yang Lao called the 3 men and 1 woman in the front row, after the 4 classmates, there was a whisper immediately below, very handsome. Senior B is too handsome, too. Is he be he? Lin Yuan just focused on warming up and thinking, but he didn't notice so many people in the martial arts hall. The moment when Pei Xi, a genius warrior of the same class, was called up, Lin Yuan subconsciously swept towards Wu Di. As expected, Wu Di showed an expression of seeing his enemy. Love rivals met, extremely jealous. This Pei Xi, like Zhang Yining, is the top 5 genius in Qingshan number 1, and he also comes from a family of martial arts. Not to mention the looks, but Wu Dishan said that he was ranked 124 in the college handsome boy list, and Pei Xi was third. Is only a bit inferior to Lin Yuan is second. Whether it is talent, strength, appearance, family status, or temperament, Pei Xi leads Wu Di in all aspects. Completely defeated. Lin Yuan sighed silently. Pei Xi has always been filled with a confident and warm smile, and all the school girls feel that the deer is bumping into each other. Basic boxing technique, no martial artist is unfamiliar. Although BXI came to the basic martial arts class for the first time, the basic martial arts of the martial arts family is generally not bad. So Pei Xi confidently played a basic boxing technique under the gaze of hundreds of people. In an instant, the tigers in the martial arts hall were alive. Lin Yuan is the first time that he has seen Pei Xi's basic boxing technique. He has been observing the details of Pei Xi's boxing technique and commented, "Very good. There are a few flaws, such as the step's center of gravity is not so stable when punching, and so on. But still better than 90% of the high school fighters. Pity. Lin Yuan's vision is so harsh, Pei Xi's boxing technique was only halfway through, and he knew there was a good show." After finishing a set of punches, Pei Xi slowly stood still, and the applause of a few fangirls faintly sounded below. Pei Xi naturally showed a calm and confident look. It's a pity that BXI's smile froze on his face in the next second. Old Yang's icy voice sounded in the center of the martial arts hall, "Are you here for class?" The whole martial arts hall fell silent in that moment, and even the sound of drooling could be heard. Sure enough, Lin Yuan secretly said in his heart. Wu Di, who was not far away, was taken aback first, and then instantly understood why Mr. Yang was angry and almost laughed on the spot. He is lazy, but the martial arts class for more than 3 years, because of Lin Yuan's reasons, has not been left in a day. Mr. Yang is too familiar. When practicing boxing, no matter how bad his style is, Mr. Yang will not get angry. The only thing that can make Yang Lao angry is that he doesn't think about boxing when he is practicing martial arts. Wu Di was scolded by Yang Lao for being absent-minded when he was a freshman in high school. Everyone who often attends Yang Lao's class knows that one of the words that Yang Lao often says is "you must be in awe of the basic martial arts in order to be promoted." He boxing is good, but when he hits it is like acting. Yu Guang also occasionally sweeps towards Zhang Yining, "Isn't this just for scolding? If you didn't come to class, get out of here as soon as possible." While Pei Xi was still in a daze, Yang Lizhong shouted angrily. At this moment, Pai Zi, the anger and shame in his heart are constantly intertwined, his face is constantly changing, and the initial warm expression completely disappears. Wu Di was constantly trembling with excitement below, and it was refreshing to see. After a few seconds of adjustment, Pei Xi finally suppressed the negative emotions in his heart, and politely said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Yang. Not next time." Old Yang did not respond, and simply ignored him. Continued to point the 3 warriors behind. "This female classmate has insufficient punching power, look at me. Left lunge, left hand to the left, pull back to the waist to hold a fist, punch right fist. The power of this punch is not from the waist." Pai Zi took a deep breath. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com kept rational and returned to the team. The blue veins on the temples gradually disappeared. He didn't dare to be angry at all, and he had no reason to be angry. Pei Xi looked at Zhang Yining, but Zhang Yining didn't look at him at all. Pei Xi only saw Wu Di's gloating eyes, and slowly clenched his fists. "Lin Yuan, come up and demonstrate." "Yes." It took half an hour, and after veteran Yang finished the detailed guidance, he called Lin Yuan up. Lin Yuan walked slowly to the center of the martial arts hall, his steps sank, his eyes suddenly sharpened, and his temperament changed. To feel every movement of Lin Yuan. Let's start. Old Yang nodded slightly to Lin Yuan. When Lin Yuan fisted, he became the focus of everyone's attention. Even Zhang Yining looked at Lin Yuan intently. Perfect. Seeing the strength and position of each of Lin Yuan's punches, Old Yang smiled even more and kept nodding his head. The perfect basic boxing technique is to gather 100% of one's own power. Even if he was as picky as Mr. Yang, he couldn't find a flaw in Lin Yuan's boxing technique. Hey! Many classmates sighed slightly. Every time Lin Yuan showed basic martial arts, whether it was boxing or legging, he felt like a glow. It's a pity that Tian is jealous of talents, but the spiritual seed talent is so bad. Otherwise, he must also be a goddess. Under the constant explanation of Mr. Yang, the whole morning passed quickly. Lao Yang will not come to the afternoon battle class. Fighting experience is something that the teacher can't teach. You can only understand and comprehend yourself through constant fighting. At noon, Qingshan No. 1 Middle School Canteen. There were 6 people sitting at the dining table on the 3rd floor. In addition to Lin Yuan and Wu Di, there were 2 men and 2 women. They were friends at school. They didn't come to the basic martial arts class in the morning. The school martial arts class is relatively free, so you can come whenever you want. Old Fang. You didn't see it. BXI's expression at the time, ha 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 ha. Wu Di patted Fang Zixin on the shoulder and laughed for 20 minutes. Fang Zixin heard that he had missed such a famous scene, beat his chest, and kept asking Wu Di for the details at the time. These few people are Wu Di and Fang Zixin, who are the most uncomfortable with Pei Xi. Originally, both the Pei family and the Fang family belonged to the second-rate martial arts family in Qingshan City. Since childhood, there has been a lot of competition. Seeing Pei Xi slumped, Fang Zixin was naturally excited to the extreme. This matter should be publicized and publicized. Lin Yuan, are you going to discuss with Zhang Yining this afternoon? Lin Yuan nodded. Well, are you all going? At the end of the martial arts class in the morning, Zhang Yining approached Lin Yuan and had a discussion at the martial arts gym in the afternoon. Several friends around nodded and said, that's for sure. I don't know if BXI has a face in the afternoon. I should come. If I get scolded in the morning and don't come back in the afternoon, it would be too shameful, right? That's true. Wu Di, be careful this afternoon. I guess Pei Xi will need you for the operation in the afternoon. Wu Di snorted coldly. Oh, who is afraid of basic martial arts? At any rate, I also practiced hard with Lin Yuan for 3 years. Afternoon. There were only a lot more students in the martial arts hall than in the morning, and many of them came to see Lin Yuan and Zhang Yining to compete. The basic martial arts of these 2 people are both top-notch. From the point of view of martial arts, the match between the 2 will definitely benefit the onlookers a lot in the process. Every time Lin Yuan, no matter who he talks with, there will be a lot of younger brothers and sisters to watch and learn, not to mention this time, before the battle has started, there is already a big circle. In the center of the venue, Lin Yuan and Zhang Yining have stood still. Basic martial arts, the only rule is not to use spiritual power. Let's start. Zhang Yining put on a posture and said to Lin Yuan earnestly. Feeling an aura against his face, Lin Yuan also clenched his fists sideways, gathering his strength. To him, Zhang Yining is just an opponent. Zhang Yining kicked out, stepped forward, and blasted out with a punch. The explosive power of this step caused all the onlookers in the audience to exclaim. So fast! This is the speed of a 3rd-level warrior. Even in the basic martial arts duel, the 3rd-level martial artist's spiritual strength tempers the body, and the explosive power is obviously stronger than the 2nd-level martial artist. Lin Yuan and Zhang Yining discussed each other 3 months ago, and naturally they knew her strengths and weaknesses. Female warriors are generally more than agile, but not strong enough. Thinking of this, Lin Yuan didn't back down, but threw a punch. Two fists faced each other, with a loud bang, both of them took a step back. Lin Yuan showed a look of surprise, feeling the explosive power of Zhang Yining's almost metamorphosis. Sure enough, after the last competition, Zhang Yining knew the shortcomings, so he focused on practicing explosive power. In any case, the power gap between male and female martial artists is not so easy to be wiped out. Even with this punch, Zhang Yining did not take advantage of it. Lin Yuan forced Zhang Yining to find his center of gravity in one step. His moves are simple and straightforward. After a sweep of his leg, he received 10 straight punches in a row. The shadow of the punch was like a river breaking a bank. Boom 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 under the stage. Fang Zixin saw this scene and glanced at his girlfriend next to him. Fuck, really straight guy. Not only did they think so, the audience around them were also shocked. Every punch Lin Yuan rushed to knock down Zhang Yining. He didn't mean to pity Xian Jiu at all. Zhang Yining found out that he couldn't make a quality counterattack under this kind of high-intensity pressure after pairing 2 punches with Lin Yuan, and found the opportunity to use his quick pace to open a position. The two attacked and retreated, but it was clear that from the first moment the two sides met, Lin Yuan had taken the initiative. I respect Zhang Yining and Lin Yuan very much. A female warrior who has practiced basic martial arts to such a level, she has definitely made no less effort than Lin Yuan. Being passive, Zhang Yining is also constantly looking for opportunities. A flash of his body wiped from Lin Yuan's side. Using the inertial force generated by twisting the waist and pivot legs, he threw his foot towards Lin Yuan's back. What? Zhang Yining's pupil shrank. She never expected that Lin Yuan did not dodge when facing her own foot. The crowd around the audience also widened their eyes, and even some schoolgirls exclaimed. Boom! Humph! Zhang Yining hit Lin Yuan's back with one leg, and while Lin Yuan snorted, he turned around. The frightened Zhang Yining and Lin Yuan looked at each other, then secretly said something was wrong. After throwing out this leg, her center of gravity can no longer be quickly recovered. Seeing the opportunity, Lin Yuan turned around and sturdily pushed onto Zhang Yining's rugged body. Zhang Yining's figure flew out, smashed firmly on the ground, blood surged. Yining! Pei Xi off the court saw Zhang Yining being kicked by Lin Yuan and rushed to the competition stage. While glaring at Lin Yuan, he stretched out his hand to help Zhang Yining. But Zhang Yining directly threw Pei Xi's hand away, and said coldly, "Leave far away." Before Pei Xi was relieved, Fang Zixin, who was watching the battle around him, suddenly got excited and shouted at Pei Xi, "Be he! Let you go away!" Ah ha 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 ha! In this small group, Wu Di is a little jealous of Pei Xi's background, and he dare not offend him too much. But Fang Zixin is not afraid. Seizing the opportunity is a great mockery. All the schoolmates next to him were covering their mouths and laughing, which made Pei Xi feel angry. Under the noisy environment, Zhang Yining slowly got up, clutching his ribs, and said to Lin Yuan, "Thanks for your advice. There will be a chance to compete again." Zhang Yining slightly nodded towards Lin Yuan, reading www.yuyuganshu.com, then stepped off the competition stage. At the corner of the martial arts gym, the martial arts teachers of the two martial arts gyms also sighed, injury for injury. Zhang Yining has learned a lot again. It's a pity that Lin Yuan's spirit seed talent is too bad, otherwise this kind of martial arts genius is too terrible. Well, some warriors will never learn how to judge a battle situation. After Zhang Yining stepped down from the martial arts stage, her sister Zhang Xiaoyu immediately greeted her and complained, "Lin Yuan is too ruthless." Zhang Yining shook his head, "He has left his hands. For the leg just now, if Lin Yuan is merciless, her ribs might have been broken." In less than 10 minutes, Zhang Yining benefited a lot. Lin Yuan taught her another lesson. Is simply called injury for injury. Is actually an accurate judgment of the opponent's moves in the duel. Just now Zhang Yining threw his leg and completely sent the center of gravity out. In fact, because she dodges to avoid Lin Yuan's attack, her strength is not strong enough to knock down Lin Yuan with one blow. Lin Yuan immediately judged the situation at that moment, and immediately chose to force Zhang Yining's leg, taking advantage of the situation and making a fatal blow. In battle, the words "one blow fatal" are too important. Maybe you attacked others 100 times just seriously injured. Once someone attacks, you die. On the martial arts stage, Lin Yuan felt the pain from his back, but it was still a little painful. Anyhow, it was Zhang Yining's sturdy leg. Just as Lin Yuan was about to step down, Pei Xi stopped Lin Yuan. Learning from each other. Hearing that Pei Xi was about to fight Lin Yuan, the classmates who came round and round around the venue whispered, "Do Pai Zi and Lin Yuan have an enemy? I remember they have nothing to do with each other, right?" Pei Xi helped Zhang Yining get ahead. Something to do? It's almost the same when it comes out to pretend to be. It's probably because I was scolded by Yang Lao in the morning, and I was so angry that I wanted to find a place. You want to fight me? Lin Yuan's footsteps suddenly stopped, and he looked back at Pei Xi who was smiling. Pei Xi narrowed his eyes. Why? Don't you dare! The two of them looked at each other, and the atmosphere in the martial arts hall suddenly became tense. Lin Yuan chuckled, "Het! Come!" Oh, hearing Lin Yuan's challenge, there were bursts of noise around him. Is not too big to watch the excitement. Fang Zixin immediately clenched his right fist to cheer for Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan! Beat him! The martial arts hall suddenly became noisy, and they were all discussing who Lin Yuan and Pai Zi would win. Zhang Yining and Zhang Xiao, who originally wanted to leave the martial arts gym, heard that Lin Yuan was about to discuss with Pei Xi, and they both looked towards the center of the venue. The third-level martial artist represents the body tempering realm, and theoretically, it is far stronger than the second-level martial artist at the same level of basic martial arts. Zhang Yining just lost to Lin Yuan. In fact, to a large extent, the loss was due to the strength and weakness of the female martial artist. The kick just now, if the strength is enough, the result may be different. The outcome of this duel is difficult to judge. After all, no one has seen BXI use basic martial arts to fight other people. Hey, Wu Di! Is it enough? Although Fang Zixin shouted madly, in fact, he had no bottom in his heart. After all, Pei Xi is a real third-level martial artist, and he is extremely talented. But when he looked at Wu Di smiled, his mouth almost grinning behind his ears. Neither of them can beat Lin Yuan. Wu Di couldn't help his own smile when he thought of waiting for Pei Xi to look embarrassing again. How to say? Wu Di whispered. The surrounding brothers widened their eyes one by one, looking at Lin Yuan, who was calm on the court. Fuck! Is there an iron bag on my waist? Real? Lin Yuan moved away from Pei Xi while moving his bones. On the basic martial arts, let's say it madly, let alone the entire Qingshan No. 1 middle school, the entire Qingshan high school genius, it is impossible for anyone to win Lin Yuan. Martial artists like Wu Di, Pei Xi, Zhang Yining, they not only practice basic martial arts, but also cultivate spiritual power and spiritual skills. Lin is far different. There is no warrior who can spend so much time in basic martial arts like him. Since BXI wanted to have him operated on, he was really looking for the wrong person. Let's start. Pai Zi's Yu Guang confirmed that Zhang Yining hadn't left, and smiled slightly. Then he looked at Lin Yuan with all his attention, not daring to be careless. Lin Yuan, this strange thing is not good. The basic martial arts can be regarded as a play, and just easily defeating Zhang Yining is enough to explain the problem. And this battle is very important to him. If he loses, it is very likely that he will become a laughing stock. Drink! Pei Xi shouted loudly, and the speed soared. After quickly approached Lin Yuan, his arms shook, and the hook-like 5 fingers quickly grabbed Lin Yuan's right arm. Interesting. Feeling Pei Xi's momentum, Lin Yuan raised a smile. Compared with Zhang Yining, Pei Xi's power is stronger. In the basic martial arts, without the assistance of spiritual power, pure speed and strength are particularly important. With the same punching speed, the force is stronger, and the impact is naturally stronger. It's a pity that Lin Yuan is faster than Pei Xi. Lin Yuan quickly flashed out a position and his body was smooth to the extreme. The right leg came out like a tornado, blasting towards Pei Xi's side waist. Seeing this scene, Zhang Yining's eyes flickered suddenly. The ability to judge with terrifying precision. This first leg is enough to allow Lin Yuan to take advantage of the battlefield, it is so exaggerated. As expected, Pei Xi subconsciously twisted his body to avoid it. But Lin Yuan's speed was so fast that he still kicked Pei Xi's arm. Humph! Pei Xi snorted. The severe pain did not make Pei Xi stunned, but made him completely awake. Then I knew how terrifying Lin Yuan was, famous in the basic martial arts. In this kind of high-frequency duel, once Lin Yuan takes the initiative, it will be difficult for his opponent to turn over. From Pei Xi's basic set of boxing techniques in the morning, Lin Yuan has already seen the weakness of Pei Xi's relative instability. Strike a snake and hit 7 inches, Lin Yuan's continuous fast kicks can only make Pei Xi keep backing his defense. Suffocation. The crowd around the classmates did not dare to breathe. Now they seem to have replaced themselves in the position of Pei Xi, and found that there is no room for counterattack. Lin Yuan's continuous leg exchanges used, double kicks followed by a continuous flight. Pai Zi retreats steadily, and there is no time to reverse the battle. Only the right foot. As a disciple of the martial arts family, Pei Xi is naturally not a wine bag or rice bag. Since there is no chance, then create it forcibly. His third-level martial artist, Lin Yuan's second-level martial artist. He should have the advantage in physical strength. Bang 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 on the field, Pei Xi's shifted cross-kick was tangled with Lin Yuan's right leg. What? The next moment, Pai Zi's tragic howl sounded in the martial arts hall. Countless classmates showed painful expressions, and even subconsciously covered their right leg. This sturdy leg is painful looking at it. Is Lin Yuan not in pain? No. Mathematics' younger brother and sister looked at Lin Yuan, who was constantly moving like a monster. The moment when he met his foot, Lin Yuan's pain was fleeting. Whether it is physical pain. It's still a pain in the heart, I have experienced it countless times. He will never forget the tears of his parents in the hospital bed. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Rebirth from despair, Lin Yuan's will is determined to a terrifying degree. After calmly landed, Lin Yuan pounced on his prey like a cheetah. Zhang Xiao held his chin and looked enthusiastically, her cute face filled with excitement. In a blink of an eye, I saw my sister Zhang Yining getting up and leaving. Hey! Sister, are you leaving? Don't you finish it? It's intense. Let's go, it's over. Oh! Feeling that Pei Xi was almost beaten, Zhang Xiao also jumped up to catch her sister. Who would have thought that this scene happened to fall in the eyes of Bxi, who was sideways? In such a moment, Pei Xi suppressed the anger of the day, and suddenly broke out at this moment. Seeing Pei Xi's eyes, a friend who is familiar with Pei Xi instantly got up and shouted, "Be he! Do not!" Pei Xi, who has been the proud son of heaven since he was a child, has always been Zhongxing Penjiu. When did he suffer such humiliation today? Pai Zi's eyes turned scarlet, and his anger completely overwhelmed his reason. As the right fist clenched tighter and tighter, amazing spiritual power radiated from his right fist. Lin Yuan! Be careful! Be careful! Wu Di, Fang Zixin, and the teachers in the martial arts hall, seeing this scene too late to stop, they shouted out in horror. Lin Yuan has never played against a third-level warrior. At the moment when Pei Xi released his spiritual power, Lin Yuan's cold sweat flowed from his forehead. Go to hell! Spiritual air currents whizzed out from Pei Xi's right fist, and suddenly blasted towards Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan in the fighting state immediately noticed something wrong. But the distance between the two parties is too close. The most important thing is that Lin Yuan is still in a forward state. In the face of the surging punch, he couldn't make retreat and dodge movements. Although Pei Xi did not devote the spirit seed's attribute power and spiritual skills to this punch, the full punch of the third-level martial artist's explosion of spiritual power could not be blocked by Lin Yuan's current strength. This punch at such a short distance would definitely hurt Lin Yuan seriously. Thinking of this result, no matter who it is, even Pei Xi's friends are as grey and pale. With this punch, I am afraid that Pei Xi will not be able to eat it and walk around. Some schoolmates even couldn't bear to see this scene and turned their heads. On the occasion of the moment, Lin Yuan mobilized his spiritual power, decisively activated the silver-grey mechanical spirit seed in his body, and used the only basic mechanical skill he had learned. Mechanization. Iron Fist. While Lin Yuan screamed in a low voice, there was originally an iron bag tied around his waist to increase training intensity. The iron inside was almost instantly dissolved by Lin Yuan's spiritual power. Then, through the rapid condensation characteristic of the mechanical system's spiritual power, it quickly condensed and gathered on his right fist. Half a second. Lin Yuan's right fist was transformed into a real iron fist from the state of his bare hands, as if condensed into an iron fist glistening with black light. BXI did not react to this sudden change. Fist. In the face of Pei Xi's surprise attack, Lin Yuan was completely unrelenting. This punch is like a meteor traversing, and it is swiped in front of the opponent. When click, the fists of both sides slammed together firmly, and spiritual power burst out. The muffled, crisp sound and the sound of BXI's right fist fractured almost at the same time. What in the next moment, Pai Zi's face swelled into pig liver color, and the painful howls had already been heard outside the martial arts hall. Pei Xi's punch didn't use the spirit seed's attribute power, which was equivalent to saying that the punch hit Lin Yuan's iron fist. One can imagine how painful it is. All the iron bags around his waist were lifted, and Lin Yuan's speed was 3 points faster than before. At the same time that Pei Xi was blasting back, the aura that had been buried in Lin Yuan's heart for a long time was completely released for the first time. Lin Yuan's eyes locked on Pei Xi like a knife. The sensitive body quickly stabilized his body, and his right foot made a perfect support on the ground and rose into the air. The body was gracefully rotated 360 degrees in the air. The whirlwind kicks. Boom! When Lin Yuan's right foot was centered on Pei Xi's side face, all the students in the martial arts hall opened their mouths, unbelievably watching what happened before them. Before Pai Zi recovered from the pain of his right hand, Lin Yuan's handsome left face encountered a heavy kick from Lin Yuan, and he flew out with his entire body, hitting the ground heavily. At this moment, Lin Yuan exudes a breath completely different from the past, sharp to the extreme. Even Wu Di didn't get over, there was only one question in his mind. How did you do it? All this happened too suddenly, and there was no sound in the martial arts hall. One by one looked at Pei Xi, who was kicked into the air, and the extremely handsome boy in the middle of the field. I am going to kill you. I am going to kill you. Pai Zi's handsome face has become terrifying. The low roar sounded in the martial arts hall, obviously he had completely lost his sanity. At the same time that the ice system's spiritual power was fully released, the temperature in the martial arts hall began to drop sharply. Be he! Be he! You dare! At this moment, Wu Di, Fang Zixin, and a group of Lin Yuan's brothers and sisters who were watching the battle dashed up the field and stood in front of Lin Yuan. Pei Xi, don't let Lao Zhou look down on you. Fang Zixin laughed coldly, and the spiritual power of the wind system was immediately released. Wu Di's electrical spiritual power was also fully released, saying, please point your face, be he. Both of them are second-level martial artists. The 12 channels have opened 11 channels, and they are only one step away from the third-level martial artists. Head-to-head fights will definitely suffer, but in this case, you will never be counseled. On the other side, Pei Xi's friends and the martial arts teacher quickly jumped onto the field, stopping Pei Xi, who was burning with anger. Cao Pei, calm down. Bai Zi, forget it. Pai Zi was stopped by two martial arts teachers, and finally became a little more sober. But after hearing the murmurs of countless classmates off the court, Pei Xi's face was still gloomy to the extreme, without the calm and warmth of the past. Yang Laoneng doesn't care about the identity of the disciple of the Pei Xi family. It is impossible for two ordinary martial arts teachers to care less, so they can only whisper and kindly persuade each other. Humph! Pai Zi snorted coldly, and Lin Yuan looked at each other in the air, sparks splashing everywhere. Even if Pei Xi's eyes seemed to swallow Lin Yuan alive, Lin Yuan just looked at him quietly. Lin Yuan has no capital to fight him. But it does not mean that people can be bullied. Beis, let's go. A follower behind Pai Zi's side and pulled Pai Zi. Things have evolved to this situation, and the scene is no longer closed. There are 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside the venue. This matter will soon spread and ferment among the family and the campus. Pei Xi must bear the anger from his father. The surrounding students gave up away. During this battle, Pei Xi's hands and feet were injured, and he was a little embarrassed when he left. After Pei Xi and the other boys left the martial arts hall, the martial arts hall instantly boiled, and began to frantically discuss the battle just now. Fuck! What is the situation? How did Lin Yuan just do it? I didn't see it clearly. You reading www.yunsha.com. I didn't see it clearly either. On one side of the field, Lin Yuan clutched his aching right arm. Surrounding Wu Di, Fang Zixin and a few friends immediately surrounded him and asked about Lin Yuan's situation. Lin Yuan, how is it? Are you hurt? It's okay, the bones are not broken. Lin Yuan moved his right hand a little, and replied. If his body wasn't strong enough, I'm afraid he would have to fold his hand with the punch he and Pei Xi met. Fortunately, Pei Xi did not use the spirit seed's attribute power at the time. Otherwise, the realm and the huge gap in spiritual power cannot be made up by the spiritual skills of a mechanical iron fist. Fuck, what's your situation with you? What did you just do? How did you get it out? After confirming that Lin Yuan was okay, the surrounding friends first breathed a sigh of relief, and then became completely excited. Wu Di was also dumbfounded. He lived with Lin Yuan for such a long time. Why didn't you know that Lin Yuan still had this hand? Lin Yuan smiled and said, let's talk about it later. At this moment, 2 martial arts teachers came over to inquire about Lin Yuan's condition. After confirming that Lin Yuan was okay, he breathed a sigh of relief. This time Pei Xi's sudden outbreak really surprised them. Pei Xi's identity is much more noble than Lin Yuan, but the use of spiritual power is always forbidden in the basic martial arts hall. So many students are watching, and these 2 martial arts teachers are not openly partial. And it was indeed that BXI took the lead, so if you are accountable, you must ask BXI first. Lin Yuan, come with us. Lin Yuan followed 2 martial arts teachers to the infirmary of the martial arts center. There will be a physician in every martial arts hall. If a student is injured in the process of training, he can deal with the injury in time. The problem is not big. Slightly cracked bones can heal in 5 to 7 days at most. Recover in these few days, don't exert effort. Physician Lu in the martial arts hall used the white healing spirit seed to initially treat Lin Yuan's injury, said. This injury is really nothing to the warrior, he can heal in 2 or 3 days with quick recovery. This is the difference between warriors and ordinary people. With the same injury, ordinary people without spiritual power will recover in about a month. Lin Yuan politely thanked, thank you, teacher Lu. After confirming that Lin Yuan was okay, the 2 martial arts teachers who came with Lin Yuan finally breathed a sigh of relief. If Lin Yuan suffered a serious injury, it would be difficult to handle. The identity of Pei Xi was placed there, and he was punished at best. But as the teachers on duty, the two of them must be held responsible. Little things. Dr. Lu waved his hand first, and then asked with interest, but I am quite curious. Who can beat your boy into a cracked bone? Because he has treated Lin Yuan several times for his injuries, he is the one who knows the strength of Lin Yuan's body best. Can hurt Lin Yuan in the basic martial arts, he has not seen much since he came to Qingshan No. 1 Middle School. Pei Xi. Be he? That's the past. Physician Lu nodded. Pei Xi is somehow the young genius in the senior year of this year, so it is not difficult to understand. A martial arts teacher shook his head helplessly, while the other teacher said with a disdainful expression, he used spiritual power. Hey! The identity of the disciples of the Pei Xi family, they really can't afford to offend them as ordinary teachers, and the family refers to them to support the family. But they were a bit angry and helpless who had just witnessed the whole process. Lin Yuan, I still hope you don't make matters worse. Papa. After half an hour, the martial arts hall has returned to a normal training state. It's just that during the break, the classmates will still chat excitedly about what has just happened, and Lin Yuan's changes. Someone has just secretly recorded the battle process with a mobile phone and uploaded it to the campus network, which aroused an enthusiastic response. Lin Yuan just came out of the infirmary. Wu Di, Fang Zixin, and a few good friends all gathered quickly. What's the situation? Lin Yuan shook his head, raised his hand and replied, nothing happened. I suffered a slight injury to my right hand, and I have to rest for 3 to 5 days. Wu Di was a little uncomfortable, then this thing has passed. Had it not been for Lin Yuan's special means, once Pei Xi's punch was hit, Lin Yuan was at least seriously injured. Fang Zixin sighed slightly, shook his head and said, the college will not punish BXI. Besides, it's BXI who suffers this time. At most, he is forbidden to enter the basic martial arts gym again, which is irrelevant. There is no way. Everyone was silent slightly. As disciples of the same family, Fang Zixin knows the importance of each family to middle school. It's not good to say that the school begs these family geniuses to go to school. It is these family geniuses who are truly admitted to prestigious schools and can become top powerhouses. Will become a celebrity then, who would care about these things too small in high school? Hearing Fang Zixin's words, some brothers around were worried and said, Pei Xi won't trouble Lin Yuan, right? Fang Zixin shook his head, no, he can't afford to lose this face. Don't worry, the Pei family will definitely trouble him this time. Wait for a good show and it's over. The more you are in the family, the more you care about your face. This time Pei Xi was embarrassed, and Fang Zixin didn't believe it because Pei's family didn't move. Hey, that's Lin Yuan. How did you do it just now? Look at that spiritual power, is it your second spiritual seed? Lin Yuan nodded, well, my second spirit species, mechanical type, is relatively rare. As soon as he said this, the friends around looked at Lin Yuan in amazement. They knew for the first time that Lin Yuan had a second spirit seed, which was still a silver-grey mechanical type spirit seed. This spirit species is so rare that a few of them have only seen their names in textbooks once or twice, and even the mechanical warriors have never seen them. Fang Zixin immediately slapped Lin Yuan excitedly, fuck, it's hidden deep enough. If we don't even tell, it's not enough brothers, right? The friend beside asked curiously, what is the mechanical spirit seed? Fang Zixin waved his hand quickly, and said to a few friends around, if you have anything, I will say it slowly. In the evening, I have a treat, Jialong banquet, and invite some brothers to dinner. After knowing that Lin Yuan's injury is not serious, Fang Zixin's mood today can only be described as sunny. Seeing that Pei Xi was beaten so embarrassed, his face was lost, so I had to celebrate. The night falls, the bright moon is in the sky, and the sky is full of stars. Lin Yuan's clean and tidy bedroom. Wu Di's face was pale, he changed his bluffing and looked at Lin Yuan with suppressed anger, Lin Yuan, are you too much? You don't even hide me. When Wudi's face was just not good at the dinner. Brother for more than 10 years, from childhood to childhood. He didn't even know anything about Lin Yuan's mechanical spirit seed. Who is not angry? Lin Yuan is a little embarrassed. I didn't mean to hide it from you. Mainly you have never asked. I apologize, alright. You reading www.yunsha.com. Wudi snorted coldly and scolded, fuck, I'm afraid of breaking your heart. You can't speak when you open your mouth. Did you even practice cultivation? Speaking of this, Lin Yuan immediately gained confidence, the conscience of this world. I only tried to practice this mechanical spirit skill a few days ago. Practice faster. This basic mechanical spirit skill is a basic mechanical transformation, and it has many forms. Lin Yuan can now mechanically dissolve the metal he carries or the surrounding metal, and then convert it into mechanical force to instantly condense. Is probably the effect of the battle with Bihe, and the practicality is not bad. Forget it. Wudi waved his hand. He also knew that Lin Yuan was very grateful for his father's continuous care and didn't want to cause them any more trouble. It is estimated that there is also this reason in it. The brothers are always understanding and considerate of each other. Besides, there is no Lin Yuan, there is definitely no Wudi now. Wudi grabbed his flowing yellow hair and said to Lin Yuan, there is still half a year before the college entrance examination, but there is still time. But I really haven't heard of your mechanical spirit seed. I just checked the 5 colleges, and there seems to be no tutor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Where are you going to take the test? Lin Yuan had known this information a long time ago and replied with a smile, Tian Shui Military Academy. Tian Shui Military Academy. When these 4 words came out of Lin Yuan's mouth, Wudi was already completely stunned, and the next second his voice suddenly rose by an octave. What? You want to be a soldier? Are you serious? Wudi looked at Lin Yuan blankly. Based on his understanding of Lin Yuan's expression didn't seem to be joking now. Lin Yuan smiled slightly, seriously. Wudi's incomprehensible Tan Xiao Dao, why? Tian Shui Military Academy. This is the college with the highest mortality rate among all martial arts academies, not one of them. Moreover, the threshold of military academies is not low, and liberal arts and military subjects all need good grades. Hearing what Wudi said, Lin Yuan stretched out 3 fingers, 3 reasons. The first reason, resources. When the word resources was just uttered, Wudi was taken aback on the spot, apparently figuring out some reasons. Tian Shui Military Academy, which was established by the National Military Department of Tian Shui State. In the beginning, recruitment was conducted inside the Budo Academy. Directly evolved into a military academy several decades ago, recruiting directly from high school students around the age of 18 to expand the country's military strength and train fighters. The most important thing is that the country provides resources for training, which is different from the top martial arts academy. A martial artist with average family conditions, even if he enters the top martial arts academy, if he does not have such top talent, it is very likely that he will be drowned in the competition of genius due to scarcity of resources. So military academy is a normal choice for Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan stretched out his second finger and said, second, my mechanical type spirit seed. I have checked. Only Tian Shui Military Academy has a strong mechanical department. Wudi was even more silent. This is indeed a very realistic factor. Lin Yuan's mechanical spirit seed is too rare. At least he hadn't heard of any of those martial arts academies who were strong in the mechanical department. Without the guidance of teachers from the same department, Lin Yuan's development prospects are quite limited. Third. Lin Yuan stretched out his third finger, shrugged and said, I want to go by myself. At this moment, Wudi suddenly felt that Lin Yuan's body seemed to radiate radiance. Any citizen of Tian Shui country has full respect for the soldiers on the front line. It is precisely because of their silent devotion and the burden of moving forward that the days of Tian Shui country are peaceful and good. Is this Lin Yuan's ideal? Lin Yuan has been working hard to practice. Is it to protect the family and the country? Hey, what's up with you? Lin Yuan saw Wu De, whose eyes were slightly flushed, and waved his hand in front of him. I don't know what else this guy is making up for. Lin Yuan wanted to enter the military academy for a long time. When he was terminally ill, when his mother was taking care of him in front of the hospital bed, she often told him stories about his father in the barracks. Also occasionally had his father's comrades come to visit him. That kind of special friendship between comrades in arms was very longing for Lin Yuan at that time. Even if there is no such thing as a mechanical spirit seed, Lin Yuan will still choose a military academy with a high probability. What? Wu De slowed down and confirmed. Lin Yuan nodded, yes. Wu De sat down on Lin Yuan's bed and said, fuck. The amount of information today is really too big. First learned that Lin Yuan had a rare mechanical type spirit seed, which shocked him. Later, I learned that Lin Yuan was going to be admitted to the military academy, and he was shocked again. He has to digest it for a while. However, it is indeed a very common choice for civilian families to enter the military academy. After Lin Yuan moved out of the house, he had much less contact with the family. The family relationship between each other was relatively weak, but now it is even weaker, and they don't even send much information. So he wants to take the military academy, even if his father disagrees, it will actually not affect Lin Yuan. Want to be together? Lin Yuan sat at the computer desk and smiled invitingly. Wu De immediately sighed with righteous words, Brother Yuan, I really want to go to the military academy with you. But you also know how much my dad loves my son, he will definitely not agree. It's a pity. Lin Yuan looked at Wu De with a regretful look, and was a bit amused by the truth, and chuckled lightly, that's not necessarily. I think Uncle Wu wants to leave you in the barracks. Just now, Wu De did have the idea of entering the military academy for a moment. But it was forcibly pinched out in an instant. The training intensity of the military camp is definitely more terrifying than the martial arts academy. Wu De's head shook like a rattle, no. My dad really loves me. Speaking of this, Wu De immediately got up and left. Lin Yuan, this guy is really good at brainwashing. Every time he practiced laziness, Lin Yuan would frantically fill him with chicken soup. He was afraid that if he continued to talk, Lin Yuan would become excited in a few words. This idea must be killed in the cradle. Ah! Seeing Wu De leaving, Lin Yuan also gave a chuckle, picked up the clean clothes and walked to the bathroom. He didn't really want to take Wu De to the military academy together. The first thing the military academy respects is personal will. After all, studying in the military academy is not absolutely safe. In case something happened to Wu De, Lin Yuan couldn't bear the responsibility, and he didn't know how to face Uncle Wu. Rush, the cold water kept washing Lin Yuan's strong body, and Lin Yuan was also thinking about his plans for the next 6 months. Able to break through to the 10 meridians, it should be almost able to enter the military academy. Second-level martial artist, also known as open pulse state, the total spiritual power is about 11 to 100. There are 12 basic meridians in the human body, and the 12 basic meridians can be opened up to be considered as the real path to cultivation. Tian Shui's 5 top martial arts academies start for admissions from the 3rd-level martial artist, that is, the body tempering state. The military academy's requirements are slightly lower, probably a 2nd-level martial artist. UU reading www.uuganshu.com 10 veins. As long as the performance is not too bad, it shouldn't be a big problem. After all, there are a lot of people recruited by Tian Shui Military Academy. Unfortunately, the foundation is too bad. I don't know if it will be in time. Lin Yuan himself was a little worried. He has only 2 channels on his 12 channels now. The starting point is very low, and the total spiritual power is only in his early 40s. In the process of cultivation, 2 conditions must be met in order to break through. One is the realm condition and the other is the spiritual power condition. For example, to break through from a second-level martial artist to a third-level martial artist, the 12 veins are fully open, which is a necessary condition. Another necessary condition is the total amount of spiritual power. The total amount of spiritual power is based on the spirit. The spiritual power of a first-level warrior is 1 to 10 points. The spiritual power of the second-level warrior is from 11 to 100. The spiritual power of a third-level warrior is 101 to 1000 points. And so on. That is to say, the 12 channels are fully opened, and the total spiritual power exceeds 100 points to be able to break through. The higher the strength of spiritual power, the higher the success rate of Kong Mei I. Wu Di's current total spiritual power is about 140 points, but it is still in the realm of 11 channels. Like Fang Zixin, they are stuck in the bottleneck of the 12 channels. Once they break through the 12th channel, they will have the qualifications to try to enter the top 5 martial arts academies. But generally speaking, Wu Di and Fang Zixin's level, even if they can get to the top 5 martial arts academies, they are almost at the bottom. Lin Yuan took a shower and dried his hair. When he returned to the room and picked up the phone, he found that the message on the phone had exploded. The news of each group is 99+. After Lin Yuan beat Pei Xi angrily in the afternoon, this video of the battle was posted to the campus network of Qingshan No. 1 Middle School, which caused an enthusiastic response. Within a few hours, there were thousands of comments. And the number is still increasing, the number of hits has soared. Pei Xi and Lin Yuan are two people in the same school, everyone knows. A family genius, a martial artist. One is gentle and elegant, and the other is sunny. It's a pity that after this video was exposed, this gentleman may have to be quoted. In the video, Pei Xi became angry from embarrassment and was the first to attack Lin Yuan with his spiritual power. What's even more funny is that he was killed by Lin Yuan. Some classmates left anonymous messages on campus online mocking Pei Xi for not talking about martial arts and losing the face of disciples of the family. In addition to this, there is another thing that makes everyone very interested, and that is the mechanical method that Lin Yuan showed. Lin Yuan, what kind of spirit seed is this? Isn't he a fire spirit seed? I checked. Although there is only a faint silver-gray spiritual power, it should be judged that it is a mechanical spirit seed. What is the mechanical spirit seed? Then why does Lin Yuan insist on cultivating fire spirit seeds? He doesn't cultivate mechanical spirit seeds. Who knows, he is a strange thing. Anyway, this time Pei Xi is embarrassed. There was a sentence or two in the textbook for the silver-gray mechanical spirit species. However, it is not within the scope of knowledge of the liberal arts examination. As long as you are careful, it is not difficult to find the department of the mechanical department if you are careful. Lin Yuan shut down the campus network and checked the messages on his mobile phone. Many friends who have a good relationship with him came to ask about Xiao Lin Yuan's injury. After responded one by one, in the small group of Wu Di, Fang Zixin, and the others, Fang Zixin excitedly brought good news. BXI has been banned. Wu Di immediately replied, "Hey? What's the situation?" Among the aristocratic families in Qingshan City, the Fang family and the Pei family are of equal strength. It has been a competitive relationship for many years, and I have a better understanding of each other's situation. This time Pei Xi was embarrassed, but it was a big loss. After hearing that Pei Xi had returned, the patriarch of the Pei family was furious and directly banned Pei Xi for half a year. At the same time as punishment, Pei Xi was practicing wholeheartedly, preparing for the challenge from half a year later. With the strength of Pei Xi's third-level martial artist, it is not a big problem to enter the top 5 martial arts academies. But if you want to shine in the 5 academies, you can't do it with your current strength. While a few people were chatting, Lin Yuan took out the 2 basic mechanical skills in the drawer. Prepare to practice for 2 hours before going to bed. Generally speaking, while practicing spiritual skills, it is equivalent to practicing spiritual power in a disguised form, but it is not as effective as special spiritual power training. These two spiritual skills were bought from tianshui.net, and the price is not too expensive. One is called basic weaponization and the other is called weapon crossbow. The spirit skill of armed crossbow requires a total spiritual power of 100 to cultivate. Lin Yuan hasn't reached this threshold for the time being, so he put it aside. The other book is more important. In this basic mechanicalization, not only the teaching of basic spiritual skills, but also many basic theories about the mechanical department, Lin Yuan has benefited a lot. When he didn't touch these at first, Lin Yuan simply thought that the mechanical system should be the kind of steel, iron, and machinery is similar to an armed mecha warrior. In fact, this understanding is a bit narrow. Machine and machine are two concepts. The core of the basic theory in basic mechanicalization is that everything can be a mechanical. In the basic theory of the mechanical warrior, if you practice to the extreme, you can completely unarmed, even condensed a shot of enchant Gatling empty-handed. And now Lin Yuan can only dissolve the iron nugget, and then condense it into a basic shape again. Complex machinery often has a precise spiritual structure. The basic steel also has a structure. Try it. Hey! Lin Yuan took a deep breath, put a plain iron block on his left hand, and the mechanical spirit seed was instantly activated. Same as during the day, after Lin Yuan controlled his spiritual power to enter the iron block, he quickly used the basic structure of the iron block to decompose it. At this stage, Lin Yuan can only obtain mechanical power from it. The iron block floats in the air and is instantly broken down. Hey! This step is not difficult. Lin Yuan controlled the mechanical forces in the air to condense with each other, gradually condensing into an iron sword in the air, then decomposed and condensed again, and condensed into an iron spear again. This simple form is fine. But how do you achieve the flexibility mentioned in the book? Lin Yuan has a headache. Now that the basic form is changed, Lin Yuan could almost do it the day after he came into contact with basic mechanicalization. But the next step Lin has been unable to achieve is long, and that is to create the flexibility of mechanical force. Take Lin Yuan's weaponized iron fist as an example. What Lin Yuan can do now is a fixed basic form. Lin Yuan was unable to change the form of the glove, that is, unable to move. But if you follow the elasticity mentioned in basic mechanicalization, the mechanicalized glove will change with the change of the hand, freely changing its form. Lin Yuan can fight freely even with iron gloves. Damn, I don't make it clear. Is it my problem or the iron problem? Lin Yuan scratched his hair, a little bit big. This is where the books are not as good as the martial arts teacher. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. There are some things that I have brought in books. If I learn by myself, these problems can only be solved by myself, and it is very likely that a long time will be wasted. Will it be better with spirit iron? Post and ask. Lin Yuan got up and sat down in front of the computer, and logged on to the Tian Shui Martial Arts Network. Kept tapping the keyboard to post a post, offering a reward of 200 points. If you accumulate these points to a certain level, you can exchange them for some training resources on the Tian Shui Video.net. Snapped. Lin Yuan hit the enter key. What is the difference between ordinary iron and spirit iron? Will there be a difference in flexibility? Lin Yuan murmured, there should be a refiner to answer this question. Spirit iron, which belongs to a kind of ore, is divided into 1 to 9 levels. The higher the level, the more cherished it is, and the higher its strength. If it weren't for Lingti's not cheap, Lin Yuan bought 2 yuan and tried it. Ling iron is often used when forging weapons. As far as Lin Yuan knows, there are many refiners active on the Tian Shui Video website. Lin Yuan yawned and glanced sideways at the time. It was too early. Now their group of warriors is far from enough to replace sleep with practice. The next day, when the belly of the fish was white and misty in the east, Lin Yuan woke up early to do daily practice in the morning. The plan for a day lies in the morning. The rising sun rises in the east. At the beginning of the day, the spiritual power in this period is the most majestic in the city. When Lin Yuan came to the courtyard, he couldn't help but smile. Yet, did the sun come out from the west? What excites you? Still being upper body by aliens. Lin Yuan looked at Wu Di, who was already practicing in the courtyard, with an unbelievable expression. In 3 years of high school, it was the first time Wu Di got up so early. Wu Di straightened his chest, his face was not red and his heart beat, and he said seriously, I always work hard. Lin Yuan chuckled lightly, what is the excitement? Tell me. Lin Yuan knows Wu Di too well, can sit and never stand, can lie down and never sit. If he works so hard as his mouth, with his electric power spirit seed talent, his strength could not be worse than Pei Xi. Who knows that as soon as this was said, Wu Di suddenly had an expression of crying but no tears, and said with a trembling face, Lin Yuan. My dad doesn't love me anymore. The morning wind blows across the quiet courtyard, and the air seems to be suddenly quiet. Lin Yuan, who was warming up, was also stunned. Several possibilities flashed through his mind, and then cautiously said, then what? Your dad is going to have a second child. Good thing. Wu Di was crying, and shook his head, with a distressed expression, my dad asked me to go to military academy with you. What? After Lin Yuan heard this, he looked at Wu Di in surprise. Uncle Wu let Wu Di enroll in military academy? A rich second generation like Wu Di, even if he doesn't practice martial arts, he will have no worries about food and drink in this life, and he will live a life of chic. Wu Di was a little depressed, and sat down on the grass. Raised his right hand, ready to slap himself, then put it down in anguish. Why is my mouth so cheap? What the is going on? The unloved Wu Di begins to tell the story of last night. After talking with Lin Yuan last night, Wu Di called his dad. Asked his dad to help pay attention to the mechanical abilities on the market, and see if he could help Lin Yuan get 1 or 2. Generally speaking, this kind of partial spiritual skill is not too expensive. Because it was the first time that Lin Yuan's mechanical spirit species, Wushu, had heard of it, I had a few more conversations with Wu Di. Naturally talked about Lin Yuan's military academy plan. Then my dad decided to send me to the military academy. You said, am I his own? Wu Di shook Lin Yuan with both hands, and said miserably. It's just that Lin Yuan wanted to laugh more as he listened, and finally laughed straight out, military academy is military academy. Isn't the military academy more interesting than the martial arts academy? Many in the Budo academy are cliques. A genius with noble status and outstanding strength must be surrounded by many little brothers who lick him wildly. Wu Di is not a disciple of the family, nor the top genius who focuses on martial arts. What would it be like to live in the Budo academy? Seeing Wu Di's contemplation, Lin Yuan gradually put away his smile and said seriously, there is still half a year, there is no need to make a decision so quickly. No matter what you choose, you have to do it yourself. Wu Di sighed silently. He didn't sleep well last night, and for the first time he had some thoughts about his future life. Lin Yuan still knows Wu Di well. Wu Di is lazy, but he is by no means the kind of unrestrained character. Forget it. Cultivate. Lin Yuan smiled, and then devoted himself to the cultivation of the mechanical spirit seed. Watching Lin Yuan control the mechanical force continuously to condense into swords, guns, and sticks. Wu Di, who was lacking in his brain, immediately threw the entanglement and troubles out of the sky, and gradually became excited. Fuck, this is too awesome, right? Should this be regarded as Kido or Bingdao? This is the first time I have seen Wu Di, the training mode of the mechanical system, and I feel that it is novel and normal. Lin Yuan replied while manipulating the mechanical force to continuously change, I am not sure as well. I'll talk about getting admitted to the military academy first. The Qi Dao and Bing Dao mentioned by Wu Di are actually 2 major categories of warriors. Qi is defined as gathering qi, using the attribute energy of the spirit seed to use spiritual skills to fight. The definition of soldier path is to control soldiers, attach the attributes of spirit seeds to weapons to fight. A bit more popular is the difference between mage and warrior. Is subdivided into many small directions, such as doctors, pupil masters, sound soul masters, and talisman masters who use the spirit of heaven and earth to draw ink. These are all branches of the Qi. However, the mechanical system is a bit special and cannot be specifically defined for the time being. Tian Shui country's martial arts education model is to allow martial artists to choose their direction after attending the martial arts academy. In high school, one is to lay a solid foundation, and the other is to receive a good education, first become an adult and then become a talent. Another key point is that no matter whether it is Qi or Bingdao, they are inseparable from powerful spiritual skills. Most of these powerful spiritual skills are in the three places of the country, the academy, and the martial arts family. The magic skills circulating on the market are generally relatively ordinary, and the ones with a little quality are very expensive. This is also one of the important factors that widen the gap between the strength of the warrior. I go first. Okay. After the early morning practice, Wu Di set off to the school to study culture. Even if you go to martial arts school, liberal arts scores will account for 30%. The total score of Tian Shui College entrance examination is 500 points. If you apply for liberal arts, it is a 500 point test paper. If you apply for the martial arts exam, it will consist of a 150 point liberal arts test paper and a 350 point martial arts test. The special skill of the martial arts exam is 300 points. If it exceeds 300 points, then select all the Tian Shui National Budo Academy. Others have to look at the overall score. Tian Shui Military Academy is the only academy that has basic requirements for both subjects, with 90 points in liberal arts and 240 points in martial arts. Of course, special enrollment students with a score of 300 in the martial arts do not need a liberal arts score. A talented warrior joins the army, and the country's welcome is too late. Reading www.yukansha.com. If Wu Di can successfully break through to the third-level martial artist in this half a year, based on Wu Di's spirit seed talent, then there is a possibility of 300 points in the martial arts test. For Lin Yuan, the scores of liberal arts are naturally not a problem, mainly the 240 points of martial arts. It's more dangerous if you don't break through the 10 meridians. Come step by step. Lin Yuan read silently. In the next 6 months, all his energy will be devoted to the cultivation of mechanical spirit seeds and spiritual power. Went back to the room and opened Tian Shui Martial Arts Network. There have been several replies to the post last night. The brightest reply came from a brother named Snowflake who was certified as a level 3 mixer. Snowflake, ordinary iron has only plasticity, but no elasticity. Spirit iron stone has elasticity and is the basic material of refining equipment. However, not all spirit stones have elasticity. For example, black stone and tungsten iron stone have no elasticity. I said it wasn't my problem. Lin Yuan nodded in satisfaction, then flipped through some comments below. Are all about popular science and answers in this regard. It looks like I have to buy some ore. The money should be enough. After Lin Yuan rewarded Snowflake with 200 points, he turned off the computer, put on a white coat with gloves and went out. A few years in high school, Lin Yuan didn't spend much money on the basic expenses of life, and the food and lodging were all counted by Uncle Wu. Lin Yuan's dad would give him money every month, plus the school's liberal arts scholarship. Lin Yuan saved a lot of money over the past 3 years. It took nearly half of the time to buy these 2 mechanical spirit skills. Now there are about 60,000 days of water coins left. Buying a few ore should not be a big problem. Downtown, Wanqi Street. There are shops of various families in Qingshan City on this street. The Wanqi Plaza in the center of integrates leisure, dining, entertainment, and retail. The boss behind is the first-class family of the east capital of Tianshui State, the Wang family, so Wanqi Street quickly became the center of the city after it was established in Qingshan City. Because it is morning, there are not so many customers on the street. The overall area of Man's Street is very large. There are countless shops on both sides of the street. Iron Soldier City, Xiaozhong Refining Device, Danyan USE, Kendo Education Center. The target customers of these stores are different, and they can survive in the prosperous Tianshui country. A level 2 refining master can actually open a refining pavilion to help some civilian warriors customize weapons and maintain a normal life. Lin Yuan enters a small shop called Song Jilianqi Pavilion. Welcome. Song Yi was carefully wiping the cold weapons hanging around, and he smiled upon hearing the sound of a customer entering the door. Lin Yuan politely smiled and said, "Good Uncle Song." "Lin Yuan, why are you here? Didn't go to class today?" Song Yi was a little surprised. His son Song Cheng is Lin Yuan, Fang Zixin, and a member of Wudi's small group of 7 or 8 people. They have met here a few times before. "I didn't go today, let's buy something." Uncle Song said enthusiastically, "Come on, don't stand at the door, come in and say. What are you going to buy? Uncle Song will help you choose. Sell it to you at the cost price." Song Cheng always told him that Lin Yuan and the others took good care of him in school and their relationship with each other was very good. "I want to buy several kinds of spirit stones." Uncle Song was a little surprised. "Lingxi, what do you want that?" Low-level spirit stones are the basic materials of refining tools and the core materials of Shinik bullets. Because the core energy is relatively small, it cannot directly absorb the cultivation. High-grade spirit stones with pure energy are fine. Facing Uncle Song's doubts, Lin Yuan didn't know how to explain in a few words. Lin Yuan didn't quite understand the basic theory of machinery. Seeing that Lin Yuan didn't want to say anything, Uncle Song smiled and said, "Fine. Let's say which one you want. I don't have high-level ones, and low-level spirit stones are available. Come." Lin Yuan was taken to the display area of the spirit stone, and after looking around, he pointed to the first-level spirit iron stone and the second-level spirit iron stone and said, "Uncle Song, how do you sell this iron stone?" Uncle Song took out these 2 stones from the display cabinet and said, "This level 1 is cheaper, 3,000 yuan. Level 2 is more expensive, 24,000. These are all cost prices." Uncle Song glanced at Lin Yuan, and Lin Yuan said cautiously, "Uncle Song, you didn't sell it to me at a loss, did you?" Lin Yuan searched the Tianshui martial arts website for the prices of first-level and second-level spiritual iron stones, which were 9,000 and 70,000 yuan respectively. "Is this business so profitable?" Uncle Song shook his head and said, "No, this is the cost price. The ore available to a small shop like ours is only left over from a large family shop, and the quality is average." Uncle Song continued to pick up the first-grade spiritual iron stone in his hand, and the size of the stone will also affect the price. The normal selling price of this piece is around 4,500. Lin Yuan nodded when he heard Song Shikapye, he really didn't know this. Uncle Song continues to popularize science, like if we build a spirit iron sword, it is generally a semi-spirit weapon. If you want to build a real spirit iron sword, you need a whole piece of spirit iron stone. Uncle Song gestured big and small on his chest. "A whole piece of iron stone, the price is very amazing." Lin Yuan looked at the Lingtiashi in front of him for a while, and then said, "Uncle Song, help me get these 3 first-level spirit stones, and 1 second-level one." "Good. Thank you Uncle Song." After coming out of the Song family refining pavilion, Lin Yuan carefully held 4 stones in his arms. "Although I would like to visit the training shops in Wanshijia again, it was a pity that I was shy, and there were more than 20,000 yuan left on my body." 20,000 yuan is a small amount of money for ordinary people, but for warriors, it is a drop in the ocean. Let's go back. Every day is very important to Lin Yuan now, so I went back to study the elasticity of this mechanicalization. Just turned a corner, a pair of middle-aged men and women brought a little boy jumping out of a clothing store on the corner of the street. Lin Yuan raised his head and met them just in time. Lin Yuan. Dad. This family of three is no one else but Lin Yuan's father, Lin Xiaoyi, and stepmother Zhao Lan. There is also Lin Xiaoyang, the half-brother of Lin Yuan. Since living in high school, Lin Yuan hasn't been back home much, and occasionally went out to eat with his father, Lin Xiaoyi, to chat about the current situation. So Lin Xiaoyang, who was only 9 years old, was very unfamiliar with this half-brother, and couldn't help but grabbed Lin Xiaoyi's sleeve. Did not go to class today. Culture class, I didn't go. Come here to buy something. Lin Xiaoyi nodded slightly. He knows that Lin Yuan's performance in cultural courses is very good, so don't worry too much. The most troublesome thing is that Lin Yuanzhen wants to apply for the martial arts exam. Since last year, Lin Xiaoyi has received several calls from the school one after another. I haven't talked about it seriously with Lin Yuan. Then Lin Xiaoyi and Zhao Lan on the side discussed in a low voice. Yu reading www.yuuganchu.com. After Zhao Lan glared at Lin Xiaoyi slightly, he took Lin Xiaoyang and walked away slowly. Seeing Zhao Lan's mother and son leaving, Lin Xiaoyi smiled and said to Lin Yuan, "Let's go, eat together at noon. It just happens to have something to chat with you. Wanqi Plaza, Xiaozhang Restaurant. Try it." Seeing the mutton soup coming up, Lin Xiaoyi greeted Lin Yuan to taste it. Lin Yuan picked up the cake and soaked it in the mutton soup, took a sip, the aroma was overflowing. "How about? It's okay, new one." "Okay." Compared with the lively atmosphere on other tables, the atmosphere between Lin Yuan and his son is a little weird. The main reason is that their lives are somewhat fragmented, and there are not so many common topics. After was quiet for a moment, it was Lin Xiaoyi who spoke first. "How long is the college entrance examination?" Lin Yuan replied, "It's less than half a year." Lin Yuan doesn't have any favorable impressions of her stepmother Zhao Lan. Father Lin Xiaoyi's personality is relatively soft and he has no place in the family, but Lin Yuan is a father and son after all, with blood thicker than water. Lin Xiaoyi nodded. "Have you thought about what school you are going to take?" "Military Academy." When the word military academy was uttered, Lin Xiaoyi's expression was obviously taken aback. Lin Xiaoyi's family conditions are not bad, but it is considered a commoner family. With this family environment, there is no way to spend a lot of resources for Lin Yuan to learn martial arts. Has shown a maturity far beyond his peers since Xiaolin. If Lin Yuan wants to make a difference in martial arts, Military Academy is indeed the best place to go. Military Academy. The Military Academy's martial arts scores are not low.